Audible has collaborated with the Loop Lab to help me bring this educational art piece, More Than My Skin, Latinx Colorism. If we as a community can't be racist because somos Latinos, then why are we so attentive to see where skin falls in the color spectrum of black to white? Latinx community. Blancamiento, whitening. Purposely marrying a lighter-skinned individual in order to make lighter-skinned children, as if having dark skin was an imperfection that could only slowly disappear the lighter the skin color got. Skin on a human who has feelings. From a young age, having to become aware of being so-called different. From a young age, learning how to hate the melanin of their skin, hate the kinks of their curls, all because they aren't like you know? European.
The nickname Morena became something to me that was normal. Your hair's too nappy today. Let's just try to see if let's get you a blowout. I started to believe that's what I needed to do to be beautiful. I started to believe that getting too tan in the summer was not good for my skin. And sometimes, my mother or family members would say, take a little bit of cotton with oil, baby oil, so you can take off that darkness. And that became part of my routine. So this unconsciously, I'm thinking that these are the things that my family, to groove me and care for me, I need to do these things, but rather not embracing who I am. And because I was different, I needed to change that so I can fit into what the expectations was.
Growing up in a city where there isn't a lot of Afro-Latinos, and then I look around and what your typical like Hispanic or Latino, I just didn't look like them. I couldn't understand why I look so different than they did.
And at that point, it was a reflection of me at a younger age, 12, 13 years old, asking my mom to perm my hair. My daughter came home one day and said, Mom, can you straighten my hair? I don't like my curls. I don't want these curls. I want straight hair, Mom. I was 6 years old, and I was like, okay, wait. And her response to me, I said to her, your curls are beautiful, baby. I love your curls. I have curls. And she said, but you have your hair straight all the time, Mom. And that clicked for me to understand, okay, what I'm doing right now, I'm not representing what I'm trying to communicate to her or show her. I'm right now still learning about these thoughts and overcoming the colorism that I was taught to me, or to not embrace myself how I need to be, embracing myself as I am.
Mejorar la raza. But your baby will have light skin and green eyes. That's the best type of Latino, right?
The consistency of being told to better my race, better. So I didn't really understand where the bettering was coming to or from. So I kind of would look at myself, look at people in the media, I'd look at people on TV and stuff like that, and I just didn't look like them. My hair was a big thing. People my hair has always been very curly, very thick, very tough, so it was always told to me I just had Brillo hair, black hair, but not in a positive way. It was always esto moño malo, they would say to me.
Pigmentocracy. A system in which one's status within society is determined by skin tone. A society that has 200 million African descendants within the Latin American countries.
His grandmother was a very dark complexion, and as he would say, she was black. And she went down the street to go shop and just, get groceries for the day. At that time, my father witnessed a lot of Haitians being transported back and forth from Haiti to DR to do a lot of farm work in the sugar cane plantations. So my father lived in a main street where he would see buses of 1,000 Haitians going back and forth and being transported. And a lot of them also were picked up to be either they might disappear, or we don't know what they will be. They would just be picked up by a secret army that Trujillo had ready to fight anti-blackness or to whiten the race. So she went out the street, went to get groceries, and because she was such a dark complexion, they thought she was Haitian, and they picked her up in one of these buses. And she kept saying, I'm Dominican, don't take me, don't take me. The way that they would differentiate between Dominicans and Haitians was by asking them to say the word perejil, which is a translation for parsley. Clearly, Haitians' first language is French, so that's how they would tell. So my grandmother, I guess, my great-grandmother was yelling, perejil, 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 so she can be let go. And that's how she made it back home. And my father says the story today, she was like, we would have never seen her. But little do they know that we're all the same. She was confused because she does have those traits of an African black woman. Beautiful. And at the time, because of the government, that wasn't beautiful. You must be punished. You must be killed. You must be taken away from your family. You must be transported as an item and used.
This assumption of it, I feel like it's a sin. I think assuming people who you are, I think, is a sin itself. It's better off you can ask, like, who are you? Where do you identify? And there's a way how you can approach these questions to people.
From 1492, when Columbus brought slaves to the islands, to now, in 2020, Black Latinx have been mistreated, made to feel less than. But enough is enough. It is time for us to unite and come together as one community, to include and elevate the voices of Black Latinx, porque la vida de Afro-Latinx importa, because Black lives matter.
I'm my ancestors' biggest dream. I'm able to sit here and talk about something that they would have died to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm able to live a life that they wouldn't even have dreamt, because they didn't even know these things were possible. How am I not going to be aware of what I'm leaving to the next generation?
Yo soy Latino, but I have the privilege of being a white Latino. In order to help the members of our community, both Afro-Latinx and Latinx, it is important that I educate myself and also educate others. We as the white Latinx community need to make sure that we're calling out our family members and our friends whenever they are making comments that are hurtful or that can be tied to colorism.
To me, being an Afro-Latina means the curly texture of my hair, the fullness of my lips, the rhythm in my hips, when my brown skin tones becomes more golden in the summer, and the resilience and strength comes from under.
Now that I'm not trying to suppress that, I've become so authentic to me. I'm able to do things so genuinely without thinking about different things. I'm able to move with this confidence, because that's what it is. Being Afro-Latina is being love, being light, I always say it's being the sun, because it's like this radiance of just like joy, and like, just remember, you come from such happy, loving people. I want to just tell that little Afro-Latina girl, anywhere you are, if you are hearing this, like, you are so beautiful and you matter so much. Don't ever let them make you assimilate to something that you aren't. Wear your curly hair. Like, literally just love the melanin you're in and wear gold all the time. Trust me, you're gonna feel royal.